we still have to deal more with digitization, or where I think insurers should accelerate, it is in the direction of prevention. It is very much present that you don't buy just an insurance product, but a package with a lot of added value services.
Welcome to ČAP Insurance Talk. Czechs are still lagging behind their Western neighbors when it comes to insurance. If we look at premiums per person, people in the Czech Republic spend about 4 times less than Germans or Italians. Today we'll talk not only about these differences, but about overall market with the CEO and chairman of KB Pojišťovny, Thierry Thibault. Welcome.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
You spent a year in the Czech Republic now. What are your main impressions after this year?
Well, I have to say that everything is running extremely well, both professionally and privately. I had a very nice welcome in the bank, in the company where I'm working. Privately, I'm still in a phase where I discover a lot of things, not only in the Czech Republic, but in Prague, in the surroundings. The only thing which is pretty challenging, and I completely forgot what it is to live in a country where you do not master, where you do not speak the language. So it's a real challenge, I have to admit.
Czech is really difficult, and I know you are fluent in English, German, French, obviously, so this must be a big change. But after 12 years of leading insurance companies in Italy and Germany, you can compare. What are the biggest differences?
Okay, first I have to say that most of the topics are very similar. It is about regulation, it is about value for money, it is about digitization, it is about operational efficiency. But still, of course, there are some differences. When it comes to Italy, for example, and when customers have a claim, most of the time they will come through a lawyer. And it's not a big surprise because this is a country in Europe with the highest number of lawyers per inhabitant, 4 per 1,000. In Germany it is 4 times less, and in Czech Republic 11 times less.
So not that many lawyers coming to the insurance company to talk about the situation.
And it's a completely different approach, which has also some pros when you deal with lawyers because they know exactly our processes and the contracts of the customers.
Oh, that's true. It must be sometimes easier because they know what to deal with.
Exactly.
So how do you see the local insurance market? Was there anything that really surprised you?
Well, still talking a bit about the differences in Europe, and after I will come to the Czech market. If I compare a bit, and that's a bit difficult, I want to be humble a bit about this because it is only 1 year. I spent 7 years in Germany, now only 1 year in Czech Republic. But still, I have the feeling that the Germans have a much more structured and systematic approach when it comes to risk and when it comes to their protection. Whereas culturally, it seems to me the Czech have a different view and believe that maybe at the end all will be fine, maybe the state will step in, or maybe nothing bad will happen at all.
Do you think that this may change and probably the approach to the risk will develop in the Czech Republic so that the Czechs will start to use more of the insurance services?
It may change, but when you see in Europe, when it is linked a bit to the culture, to cultural behaviors, sometimes to mindset, it may really take a lot of time. German are absolutely risk adverse. I'm not sure it is the same for Czech people. And what is also, well, I would say noticeable for me, you know, after 1 year on the Czech market, it is that it seems to me that people love to deal with complexity. And we have a kind of dilemma there because a lot of those people are also consumers, and those consumers, they expect simplicity, speed, transparency, and it creates a kind of dilemma. So it's super complicated to combine both of it.
Must be a big challenge for insurance company to serve both.
Exactly. It is one of our main topic today in the agenda. Simplicity is complicated.
Definitely, when you then take into account all what can happen. But then, in general, where does the insurance sector, when is it heading? What is the new role for an insurance company?
So, from my perspective, in front of us, we still have to deal more with digitization. So clearly there is still space for improvement, specifically in our company, but not only. What I see also for the future, it is not just indemnity in cash, in amount, but value-added services consumer could use from the D1. What I mean, it is that it is not just to pay a premium every month for a risk or something bad, which will maybe never happen, but at the same time get some added value services again from the day one. I see in US it is very much present that you don't buy just an insurance product, but a package with a lot of added value services.
How can we see the added value services?
It is something you can consume from D1. For instance, it can be protection. There are some apps around medicine about who can help you to make some forecast. You have something. I take an example. It is very much about prevention at the end of the day because it creates value for the customer, and it also helps the insurer to reduce the risk. My daughter was in Indonesia traveling last month. She had a travel insurance, not from our company because she's living in Switzerland. And at the time she was in Indonesia, there were riots, there were volcano eruptions and flood. She didn't get any single message or alert from the insurance. And this is what I would call added value services, to get some prevention, some warnings. And I think it is what people expect. It's also maybe a difference between Czech market and Germany, you were asking before. When it comes to risk life insurance, individual risk life, German people are expecting not just a compensation in cash, but also a practical service if something happens. Let's say
care by itself.
I break my leg. Who is going to take care of the children? Who is going to go to the supermarket? Who is going to clean my apartment?
Yeah, but as you've spoken about the role of an insurance company as a service with added value, you also have a product that is motivating people to take care of their health, and then they can get even like 30% of the money back.
Yeah.
Is this the future though? Is this the new role also, that you motivate or you care about the prevention as such?
So I don't know if it is necessarily the future to give discount because people will take care, but what is clearly the future, or where I think insurers should accelerate, it is in the direction of prevention.
You also mentioned the big role of digitization. You studied IT.
Yeah.
How does an IT guy end up in insurance?
Well, I have to say that it was not the most obvious direction for me. I've studied industrial IT in Toulouse, in France, and I was predestined to work in aeronautics. So it's a kind of coincidence, if you want. And in my career, I had several why not. And the first why not was to decide to start my career in a bank, in a banking group, Société Générale. And from IT in Société Générale, I went to car fleet management, car leasing. Again, I moved from IT to business. It was a second why not. And from car fleet management to insurance.
Okay.
Again, another why not.
I know that you, with the banking sector, you spent time in Ukraine, Indonesia, Croatia, Austria. So you really know the markets worldwide, globally. But there is the special connection of an insurance and a banking company. Where do you see the biggest advantage?
Okay, well, we are acting as an integrated bank insurance in Czech Republic with Komerční banka. So clearly, acting as integrated bank insurer gives us access to a very wide, large customer base and also distribution network. That's a big, big advantage, I would say. But it's not necessarily enough. We have to convince the customer of the bank that our products are competitive. And that's why, additionally, we do not work only as a bank insurer, we also work with the market. It's very, very important to me that we work with external distribution channels in order to remain connected to the market, to the real competition. And it could be super dangerous to work only as a bank insurer because you could be disconnected from the reality up to a point.
We can see this number, which is showing that your group is doing really well. What is behind it, and what is probably the recipe for a future growth? Because this was in both sectors of the insurance, so do you see still potential to grow even more?
Yes, I mean, we have 4 main products, and we see for all those products a huge potential on one end in terms of equipment rate versus Komerční banka customers. So the equipment rate is still relatively low. So it's, of course, thinking about a property product or travel insurance, a huge potential, but also with the external market. Our market share is relatively low. And here we believe, we're convinced that we have good product, not only good product, but also good digital services. And we expect to go further in the future.
Actually, with the digital services, what is still missing? What do you think will come next? Is the insurance sector agile enough?
When you're asking, there is a part of the answer, I think, in your question at the very end. The point is that a lot of solutions, a lot of technologies are available next door. It's very true. And why do they come maybe sometime later or not immediately to insurance company? We should not forget that, and it's not only about regulation, it's about common sense. We insurers manipulate sensitive data, medical data, and the plug-and-play solution from the last startup or insurtech is simply not working. So we have to make sure to protect the data of our customers. We have to deal with data protection, with IT security. From my perspective, that's why it takes a bit of time. You were asking what next with digitization, and well, there will be AI, of course, and not only AI. There is something we are working on, and it's connected to digital services. When we have a customer submitting a claim, for example, online, now, thanks to AI, we can take an opportunity of the presence of this customer online to immediately check the content the customer has submitted and tell him immediately if something very important is missing, or even a document not readable. But even more than this, and then we increase dramatically the customer satisfaction, because we do not have to wait a couple of days, ask the customer to call back or to resubmit a document. So it's real time and AI together.
I see how we mentioned that it should be digitized, simplified, and react to what the customer really needs. So it's a service. Mm-hmm. So a last question. Do you have a personal goal for your role as CEO of KB Pojišťovna?
I have several goals, but if you ask one, I would say in insurance, but not only in insurance, by the way, we are dealing with transformations. Those transformations will never stop, will continue, and will be very much driven by the technology. My main goal is that in Komerční Pojišťovna, we are comfortable with such changes, that we take opportunity of such changes and simply we're at ease with all the transformation we still have in front of us.
think it's an uneasy goal, but I'll be keeping my fingers crossed for you to reach that one. That was Thierry Thibault. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you for your questions.
And obviously, this is not the only interview that you may find within our insurance talk, but the other ones you may find at the YouTube or at your favorite podcast application.